En-Mao Smackdown review, the 1st of May 2015. Hi everyone and welcome to this week's Smackdown review. It starts off with Rollins walking around backstage with him, it's J&J security, and they walk into Kane. Rollins is quite upset with Kane and questions his actions on Monday night. Kane says if he remembers correctly, it was Rollins that hit him twice. Rollins says that it was an accident and that he was more annoyed that he has to face Roman Reigns and Randy Orton for the next pay-per-view Payback. Kane says that Seth told everyone that he was a fighting champion, so this should not be an issue. Rollins says that Reigns and Orton are not a problem, his problem is Kane. He says the director of operations should do what's best for business, and that's what's best for the champ. What a whiny little bitch. Kane then asks what is better for business than giving the audience what they want. After all, the WWE Universe chose the match on the app on Monday night. Rollins then goes to launch a personal attack on Kane about how he is better, etc, etc. Kane says that this part of his job is to make Rollins grow as a champion and as a person. He goes on to say that he will make a man out of Rollins even if it's the last thing he does. Kane then says tonight Rollins will face Dean Ambrose because that's what's best for business. Rollins says he thinks Kane from 20 years ago is what's best for business. He then dares Kane to prove his viability to the authority tonight and then walks away. Kane watches on and Smackdown begins. We are welcomed to Smackdown by Tom Phillips, Byron Saxton and Jerry the King Lawler, and they seem pretty hyped about the main event that's just been made by Kane. Roman Reigns' music starts playing and he heads to the ring through the crowd. While he does so, we are shown a recap of last Monday night's main event on Raw. You can go and watch my results and review of it by clicking on the link in the box below or the annotation at the end of the video. We are also reminded of the main event at the next pay-per-view, Payback, which is Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title in a triple threat match voted for by the WWE Universe. Roman stands in the ring and says good luck to Dean Ambrose tonight when he takes on Rollins later. He goes on then to moan about Seth Rollins and how Seth has destroyed the Shield. He then says Seth took Roman's best opportunity in his career to win the title at WrestleMania, and then since, every match has been one where he has had to claw and fight for his life. Roman then tells the crowd to wait till they see the fight he's going to bring at Payback, and let's hope it's better than the fight at WrestleMania where Brock made him look like a right amateur. Kane appears and starts making his way to the ring, getting ready for action. He calls out a referee and continues down the ramp. Rollins asks the ref if this match is now, and Kane enters the ring. It looks like it as Kane tells the ref to ring the bell, and Reigns and Kane start off with the punches and kicks to each other. Kane Irish whips Roman into a corner and then goes to work on what looks like an injured lower back of Reigns. Kane throws him around like a rag doll and hits a side suplex and more attacks to the lower back area. Roman is in visible pain. And then Kane charges at Roman, who pulls down the top rope and Kane goes over the top. Both competitors take the fight to the outside of the ring and Kane gets pushed head first into the ring post. And Reigns continues the assault with a drop kick. Kane staggers in front of the announce table and Reigns sees an opportunity. He goes for a move, but then Kane reverses it and slams Roman onto the announce table. That's not going to help his back. He rolls off the table and Smackdown goes to a break. I'll let you guess what the next move is when we come back after the commercials. Well, sidewalk slam, suplex, tombstone? Nope. They're both back in the ring and Kane has Roman in a bear hug. How many of you thought that I was going to be saying a headlock? Come on, put your hands up. So Kane is in control. Roman fights back and it's in vain as Kane continues to dominate after breaking the hold. Kane stands over a fallen Reigns, taunting him when Reigns gets back to his feet and then trades blow for blow with Kane. Roman's bombs are landing quicker and he suddenly hits a suplex on Kane and then gains the momentum. Both men get to their feet after a 6 count and Roman floors Kane again with a flying forearm. He gets to his feet and goes for the second rope and hits Kane again with the same move. He then picks Kane up and puts him in the corner and tries to go to work on him with forearms and punches. Kane hits Roman, who staggers back. Kane goes to follow up his punch and gets countered into a sweet Samoan drop by Rollins. Roman goes into the corner and does his Superman punch taunt and then goes for the move. As he leaps at Kane, Kane catches him and chokeslams him. He only manages though to get a 2 count. Kane sets up for a tombstone, but Roman counters it into a DDT and then he runs and tries to hit the Superman punch. He does so and then he goes for the spear as Kane gets up, but Kane does nothing more than roll out of the ring and Roman misses. Kane makes his way up the ramp and leaves the arena, and Kane gets counted out and Roman picks up the victory. What a strange ending to a pretty decent match. Backstage, Rollins and J&J Security are watching on the TV what just happened. Renee Young approaches them and asks them for their reaction. Rollins says Kane was in over his head. Rollins asks if she knows what the difference is between him and Kane, and not the fact that Kane carries around a senior citizens card. He says that he never runs away from a fight and he finds a way to win on his own, which is apparently what he's going to do at Payback. He says he doesn't need the help from anyone to win but himself, because he is the future and the future is now, which makes him the man, and he walks off. We are told that Cesaro and Kid are invoking their rematch clause tonight, and today they're going to take on New Day in tag team action for the championship titles. We are then shown a Raw exclusive of Fandango taking on Adam Rose from Monday night, and you can see more of that in my previous review. We are then shown what happened when Curtis Axel and Damien Sandow got into the same ring on Monday night. This can also be seen in my previous review. Back to tonight though, and Damien Sandow makes his way to the ring. He copies the ring announcer word for word, apart from where he corrects her on the lighter weight. The crowd seem to love this, but personally I think that this is going to get boring really fast. And if I remember correctly, it's been done before by plenty of other wrestlers who are now no longer with the company. He needs to find a new gimmick and fast, or we may be wishing him well with his future endeavours. Curtis Axel makes his way to the ring and Damien Sandow once again copies the ring announcer, adding a few mocking comments though this time about Axel as he comes to the ring. The bell rings and Axel tells Sandow that he's a joke and starts mocking him in the corner. He then rips off his shirt, Hulk Hogan style, and throws it at Sandow. Sandow mocks him. He goes to do the same as Curtis, but Curtis then attacks. Sandow takes the early lead and manages to get enough time to rip his shirt off like Hulk Hogan and throw it back in Axel's face. Axel runs at Sandow, who sidesteps and throws him out of the ring. Sandow then follows out after him and starts copying Axel, but finishes it with an elbow to the face. Axel gets back in the ring, and as Sandow does, Axel takes control, stamps rain down on Sandow. He charges at Sandow and misses completely. When he turns around, he goes into Sandow doing a Hulk Hogan impression, and he starts letting the punches fly. A big boot to the face and a full Nelson powerbomb follow, and Sandow picks up the 3 count and the victory. Renee Young is with Ryback backstage, and we find out on Monday that he is now the target for the creepy Bray Wyatt. Renee asks why he thinks this is. Ryback says that he doesn't have an answer, and all he knows is that the Eater of Worlds has bitten off more than he can chew, and if he wants to question Ryback's dedication, he will give a special dedication to Bray Wyatt tonight when he devours Bray's former disciple Luke Harper. He says that his message will be very clear and it won't contain big words, it will contain 3 small words. Feed me more. And he walks off. He's in action against Luke Harper next. What a ramble that was. Ryback makes his way to the ring and he looks very pumped up. Luke Harper is next out and he makes his slow psychotic walk to the ring and he stares at Ryback. The match starts with the 2 big guys locking up. Ryback hits a shoulder block and goes straight for a pin. What the hell? Luke Harper kicks out at 1 and Luke Harper takes control and puts Ryback into a headlock. Ryback fights back and reverses it into a wrist lock, and then Harper escapes the hold. And Ryback lets his fist do the talking. He lands punch after punch and staggers Harper. He throws Harper around the ring a bit and then shoulder charges him in the corner. Luke Harper punches Ryback and mounts a comeback with a suplex, and he goes for another. But when Ryback counters and hits a suplex himself, he holds Harper upside down for so long before actually allowing him to hit the canvas. He actually marches on the spot while he held him upside down as well. They get up and Ryback gets onto the second rope in the corner while punching Harper. Luke Harper picks Ryback up and hits a powerbomb and gets a 2 count. The match continues with neither big guy getting and maintaining momentum until Ryback hits a running power slam. He then gets a splash but only manages a 2 count. Luke Harper tries to come back but gets hit with a spine buster. This signals the end and Ryback chants "feed me more" and goes for the big clothesline. Unfortunately for him, he runs into a big boot to his face and then a super kick / sweet chin music from Harper. He only gets a 2 count now. Harper goes for the big discus clothesline but misses and Ryback hits his meat hook clothesline and then picks up Harper for the shell shock. A 3 count rings out and Ryback wins another match. While Ryback celebrates, the arena goes dark, like pitch black dark. A spotlight comes on in the ring and Bray Wyatt is stood there looking at Ryback. Ryback goes to attack but misses and Bray then assaults Ryback in the centre of the ring. He once again picks Ryback up and hits his sister Abigail. He drops to his knees next to Ryback, outstretches his arms and then looks to the sky. And it's over. It's time for the next match and the new tag team champions New Day make their way out to the ring dancing and clapping. They try to get the crowd chanting "New Day rocks," but the sucks chant rings out around the arena. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd now appear with Natalya and they make their way to the ring. Will they be able to overcome the New Day and regain their tag team belts? Tyson Kidd is going to start things off in this match against Kofi Kingston. They start off with a test of strength and then Tyson reverses it into a pin attempt. Kofi gets up straight away and they lock up in the middle of the ring. Armbar to reversal to an armbar to a reversal. No one is getting momentum until Kidd manages to get a hammerlock and then goes for the pin again. But it's only a 1 count. Kofi manages to throw Tyson Kidd out of the ring and Cesaro helps him back in and makes the blind tag. Kofi runs to the ropes and as he comes back, Cesaro and Kidd hit a double team and Cesaro hits a massive uppercut as Tyson lifts and drops Kofi onto it. Cesaro goes for the pin and Kofi kicks out at 2. Cesaro deadlifts Kofi in an amazing feat of strength and walks to the middle of the ring and then suplexes him with a gut-wrench suplex. 2 more covers that Kofi escapes and a 2 count and then Cesaro locks on an armbar submission hold again. Kofi escapes by hitting a jawbreaker and tries to roll up Cesaro for the pin. Cesaro counters and then picks Kofi up and holds him upside down in a suplex position. He walks over to Kidd and then tags him in. Kidd jumps up to the top rope and not only does the next move look extremely dangerous, but it looks absolutely freaking awesome. It's like a suplex pile driver with Kidd pushing Kofi downwards from the top rope and drilling Kofi's skull into the mat. That should become their new finisher in my opinion. Kidd goes for the pin, but Kofi manages to kick out. He does look really dazed though, and is running on fumes. Kidd now goes back to locking in a boring armbar. He then tags in Cesaro, and who then throws Kofi around for a little while. Kofi rolls out of the ring, and Kofi runs around to the outside of his corner and team, and then gets back in the ring. On the way, he tags Big E, and Cesaro gets distracted by Xavier. He gets back into the ring and chases Kofi, but Cesaro knocks Kofi to the floor and then suplexes Big E with a German suplex, which is funny because he didn't even know Big E was the legal man in the ring. Cesaro tags in Kidd and they both stomp on Big E in their corner. Tyson Kidd fights Big E and ends up in the ring apron outside the ring. He then goes for Kofi and Woods, but while he's distracted, Big E charges him off the side of the ring. Big E then gets out of the ring and assaults him outside. He throws Kidd back into the ring and into his corner where Kofi tags in and continues to stamp down. Big E and Kofi tag in and out and continue the stamping. Eventually Big E whips Kofi into Kidd and Kidd drop kicks him and goes for the pin. The fight continues and Kofi takes to the middle rope. He jumps into a drop kick from Kidd and both men are down. Kofi makes a tag and Big E runs and knocks Cesaro off the ring and then goes for Kidd before he's able to get the tag. He hits a belly-to-belly suplex and Tyson Kidd rolls out of the ring. After the break, they're both in the ring and Big E tags to Kofi. Momentum is now with New Day and Kofi starts flying around the ring. He starts off with a boom drop. He hits Cesaro off the apron again and then stands clapping the New Day clap. Kofi goes for the Trouble in Paradise but completely misses it. Kidd manages to get the tag to Cesaro and he comes in and back body drops Kofi. He then follows up with a big boot to the face, returning the favour of being knocked off the apron by Big E. He hits several running uppercuts to Kofi and several pin attempts, but then lifts Kofi above his head and Gorilla Press slams him and then stamps double-footed onto his chest. Big E saves the pin attempt. Cesaro throws Big E out of the ring to give Xavier Woods a smack also. As he walks backwards, Kofi goes for a roll-up, but Cesaro kicks out at 2. He chases Kofi to his corner where he gets a kick to the head. Kofi tags Big E, who hits a runaway train clothesline, and Kidd makes a save at 2. All 4 guys are now in the ring. Kofi gets thrown out of the ring by Tyson Kidd, who then follows up with a suicide dive onto Kofi. In the ring though, Cesaro hits a flying uppercut and then goes for the King of Swing on Big E. He tags in Kidd, who then hits a drop kick on Big E as he's swinging. Kidd goes for the pin, but Kofi and Xavier Woods making the save. The ref rings a bell for a disqualification, and Kidd and Cesaro win the match, but not the titles. New Day continue to attack Kidd and Cesaro after the match is over, and I guess this will be another match at Payback in a few weeks. Cameron is telling Summer Rae about what happened on Raw when Naomi attacked Brie Bella before her match. While Cameron is doing this, Nikki Bella walks up behind them and Nikki interrupts and Summer Rae walks off. Cameron is so rude to Nikki and Nikki offers to take it to the ring later tonight. After the break, we are treated to more Tough Enough videos from people who have applied at www.toughenough.com, and there is still time to enter to win the WWE contract on offer. Cameron is in the ring and it's time for her to take on Nikki and Divas action. Nikki makes her way to the ring, and as she does, a promo from Naomi appears, explaining that if you are nice, you fail, and that is why she has changed persona. She also says that she will shatter Nikki Bella's title dreams. She didn't do it at Extreme Rules though. Nikki Bella dominates the start of this match with arm drags and clotheslines. Cameron fights back but spends way too long showboating. Nikki goes for the middle rope and tries for an enziguri but misses because Cameron ducks. Cameron now attacks and kicks Nikki to the outside. Cameron follows and rams Nikki into the barricade. She throws Nikki back into the ring and continues the attack while taunting Nikki. Cameron hits a facebuster and continues to taunt and attack. Nikki fights back and hits 2 clotheslines and she goes for a third in the corner but misses. She goes to the second rope and it's a flying enziguri and Nikki gets a 2 count. Cameron slaps Nikki across the face and then Nikki floors Cameron with a punch to the face. Nikki hits the rack attack and that's game over. Nikki wins. I wonder if that will shut Cameron up though. Primetime Players next to cut a promo and they are crying that the New Day are the new tag team champs. Titus then asks if anyone is excited about the New Day and crickets start chirping. They bring out a New Day Be Gone box and they start taking the mickey out of the tag team champions. They then say that to get primetime players on the screen, the WWE Universe needs to champ for them. Wow, they've resorted to begging to be able to get a match. They finish with their millions and millions of dollars chant. Dean Ambrose is shown taping his hands up in the locker room when Seth Rollins enters. He says it's in everybody's best interest if Dean backs out of the match. Dean asks why should he? Seth Rollins answers with loads of bitch reasons and Ambrose just stands there smiling. He says he will see Rollins in the ring. I don't think he heard the reasons and that's what makes Dean Ambrose's character really great. Rollins says he's making a huge mistake and Ambrose replies that at least this mistake ends with him beating Rollins' face in. Ambrose walks off and he heads to the ring. Next on Smackdown, we're shown the results from the King of the Ring tournament from last Tuesday. Now I owe everyone an apology, I didn't actually get round to doing this review, but I'll do it now. It starts off with the matches from Raw where you can see these in my Raw review. In the second round, Wade Barrett took on R-Truth while Sheamus fought Neville, and let's start with the Sheamus match. Neville dominated this match with agility until Sheamus hit the white noise. At this point, Dolph Ziggler came out onto the ramp taunting Sheamus and reminded him about what had happened at Extreme Rules with Ziggler getting the pin. This annoyed Sheamus and he went for a bro kick on Neville, but he completely missed. Neville hit an enziguri to the back of Sheamus's head and then hit the red arrow to get the 3 count and advance to the final of the King of the Ring tournament. The next match was Barrett and R-Truth. R-Truth dominated this match until Barrett hit a sneaky bull hammer, and that was it, game over. Barrett advanced to the final against Neville, and it was just a repeat of the Extreme Rules match that they'd had at the kickoff show for Extreme Rules. There was plenty of high flying moves from Neville though, but eventually Bad News Barrett hit him in the head with a bull hammer and managed to get the win and become the 2015 King of the Ring. He says finally there is someone with enough class to rule the WWE, and he will be ruling with an iron fist. Well, I didn't know winning King of the Ring gave you that power. Anyway, back to tonight's main event, and Dean Ambrose makes his way to the ring. He's ready to beat up and humiliate Seth Rollins tonight. Seth makes his way to the ring accompanied by J&J security, and the match starts. They lock up and Ambrose starts the match with several submission moves. When Rollins breaks free, he escapes the ring to regroup. They fight again and Rollins takes advantage now with punches and kicks and an arm lock. Eventually Dean Ambrose hits a drop toe hold and regains momentum. He gets Rollins in a leg lock and then picks him up by his face backwards. He then kicks Rollins in the back of the head. Ambrose goes after Rollins, but he fights back and takes control with punches and kicks. He Irish whips Ambrose into the ropes and hits a cross body block and then starts punching Rollins in the head. He then clotheslines the champ over the top rope to the outside. He goes after Rollins, but J&J security stop him. Rollins fights through them, but Ambrose still takes the advantage. He throws Rollins into the ring and warns the security. As he turns around though, he takes a double boot to the face and then security attack. At this point, Kane walks out onto the ramp and starts making his way to the ring. Kane stands with security and looks on as Rollins starts to decimate Ambrose. While Seth is showboating after a vicious attack, Ambrose manages to get just enough power to clothesline Rollins. J&J security bang on the mat to G-Seth Rollins up, but Ambrose is the first to his feet and the first to start laying the punches into Rollins' face. Punches and chops ring out in the arena, and then he starts shoulder blocking and knocking down the champion. He hits a running bulldog on Rollins and then heads to the top rope. Rollins gets up and kicks Ambrose as he goes for an elbow drop off the top rope. Rollins goes then for a powerbomb, but Ambrose fights back and Rollins has no other option than to drop him. Ambrose then runs up the ropes and kicks Rollins out of the ring, followed by a suicide dive on the champion. Ambrose throws Rollins back into the ring and then continues with a massive face buster. Ambrose goes for the cover but only manages to get a 2 count. He stands there smiling over a downed Rollins and he starts stalking him like a wolf. Ambrose puts Rollins onto the top turnbuckle and Ambrose tries to suplex him, but Rollins counters this into a running powerbomb and he goes for the cover, but he only gets a 2 count. Rollins and Ambrose get up and Rollins goes for the super kick. He misses and Ambrose tries to get a roll-up pin only to get a 2, and then he kicks Rollins in the abdomen. He goes for the Dirty Deeds DDT, but Rollins counters and hits an enziguri, stunning Ambrose. He then hits a super kick and Ambrose is flat out on his back. Rollins goes for the pin, but only gets a 2 count again. Rollins can't believe it. Kane gets onto the ring apron and he's having a go at the referee. Everyone thought that was the end of the match. Rollins is arguing with the referee when from behind Ambrose charges Rollins into Kane and goes for the roll-up. He only manages to get a 2 count as well. Rollins then runs at Ambrose and is ejected from the ring right onto Kane. Ambrose goes to the top rope and then elbow drops all 4 of the guys. Rollins gets up and throws Ambrose into the barricade. He walks up to Kane and asks if he's okay. Kane grabs Rollins around the throat and the crowd goes wild. They believe he's going to get a choke slam. Ambrose runs and jumps off the announce table at Kane and he also gets grabbed around the throat. The ref says to Kane that he will disqualify them and Kane lets them go. I thought, like everyone there, that it was going to be a double choke slam. Not this time, unfortunately, though. Kane then goes to grab the referee, but Ambrose throws him into the ring post. Rollins throws Ambrose into the ring, but then he reverses and clotheslines the security onto the announce table. Rollins grabs Ambrose and throws him into the steel steps. He throws Ambrose then into the ring and hits his front facelock DDT finisher. Rollins gets a 3 count and the champ wins another match. Kane gets into the ring and he attacks Dean Ambrose, taking out all of his anger and frustration. The other guys then also join in and it's a 4-on-1 beatdown in the middle of the ring. Roman Reigns sees this and his music starts playing and they all look for him in the crowd. He comes from the entrance by the ramp and runs to his buddy's aid. He Superman punches Kane, knocking him down, and then gets into the ring, and immediately J&J security are on him. He throws him off and starts wailing on Rollins with punches. Security pull him off, but he throws them away and then continues the onslaught. He punches Rollins out of the ring and then hits a double spear on J&J security. By this time, Kane is in the ring and he grabs Roman around the throat and Dean Ambrose. He throws him away as Reigns hits Kane in the face and Ambrose follows up with a clothesline. Reigns then hits Kane with a spear and Ambrose and Reigns stand tall in the ring while Rollins hold the title aloft as Smackdown goes off air. So there is this week's Smackdown review. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I just wondered where the John Cena Open Challenge was tonight. Anyway, thanks for watching, and until next week, bye for now. So, I hope you all enjoyed this week's Smackdown review. If you did, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. Please leave a comment about wrestling in the comment section, and please subscribe to my channel for more wrestling videos and gameplay videos. Click the screen in the centre now for more wrestling reviews, and once again, thanks for watching. I hope to see you on the next video, and until then, bye for now.